Hi guys, how are you? I'm Hal.
I'm Joanie.
We want to welcome you guys to the very first broadcast of Karaoke QnA. Sorry, the southern accent comes out. Not ampersand. Hush. We're at the It is Karaoke Summit 2015 Hangover Day. I want to thank Digitrax for giving us the time this morning, giving us a studio space. We just finished up a wonderful summit yesterday.
Informative.
Very informative. And you guys need to check that out. We're going to give you guys a link for that here in a few minutes. It is very informative about the karaoke industry. But the real reason you're here this morning is Joanie and I, we're both karaoke hosts. I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee.
I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
We work hard in this business. We love this business.
Years in this business.
We got in at, 3:30 this morning. Joanie's in town hanging out with me this week for the summit. And she came to my show last night and hung out with me at the show last night. And packing up, loading out. It's 3:30 in the morning, so we're headed to back home to the house. Anyway, enough of that. We're here to talk to you guys about karaoke and the state of karaoke. And we're here to help you guys. Hopefully you're watching today. About you're in the karaoke business and you love this business like we do, and you want to make money. You want to give your customers, your bars, your bar owners, your singers the best experience that you possibly can. We're gonna
cover all kinds of topics. We're gonna cover everything that the hangovers from, you have to drink a little bit at karaoke because it gets you through the night sometimes depending on your singers.
Exactly.
But I digress. Anyway, we're going to talk about different subjects like your rotation, how you run it, your software, different formats of
CDGs versus computer. There's
different brands.
Where to buy it?
Yeah,
that's the biggest question.
Where are you getting your karaoke now? It's impossible, right?
We talked about that yesterday during the summit. Where do you buy your music? The old, no, I can't play that song because you brought me in a burned CD, or you brought me in your phone and it's Spotify or whatever, a retail or a non-commercial source for karaoke. Now we're not going to tell you, we're not the be-all, end-all. We're here to open up that dialogue and that conversation. I'm going to throw out our web address. That's the cool thing is you guys can send us email address. Yeah, you guys can send us emails, and we will read those emails, and we will respond to those emails during our shows. Our email address is KaraokeQnA@gmail.com. So we'll both read the emails. We'll talk about it. We'll bring those questions to our shows. It may not be the next week's show, but we're going to try to stay on a subject every week. I know we're kind of all over the board this morning.
That's because we're trying to.
We're so excited.
Explain what we're doing, and we're hungover.
Yeah, we're so excited about the industry. The guys here at Digitrax have been great to us to give us the space. You got to check the summit out. But anyway, one of the things, how do you handle your singers on stage? How do you handle the rotation? How do you handle the bump? Somebody wants to get moved up in the rotation. There's a cool new tool. Yes, out there. Karaoke 360 that's just now hitting the market. Look at that. Take a look at that. Look at what's going on with that. Again, I'm going to take you back to the summit. They talked about it during the summit. It may work for you. It may not be for you. But you know what? It's something to go with. We're going to talk about microphones.
Yep.
I use corded mics. I use
cordless.
I use the SM58 because the singer wants to go and drop it to the ground, and I'm like, you're dropping my $100 mic, but it works. She uses cordless mics. Everybody's different. There's not one way to do it that's your way to do it, but we all have to do this together. The biggest thing is we want to be informative to you guys about what's available out there. Joanie and I are involved with the karaoke industry. We know the manufacturers on a first-name basis. We're going to these guys. We're talking to these guys. We open dialogue, and it's, what can we get? What can we do? Where can we buy it? That's our biggest challenge. We both mentor two other KJs in our markets to help them in the market because it rises the market for all of us.
Yeah. So just so that you know, how you got into the business, what year?
Oh gosh, not to know the truth. About the late '80s. You know those things they call them laser discs?
I have them.
Yeah,
still.
Frisbees. I sold my last ones, and
did you?
Yeah, I'd love to have them back because of the quality. Some of the video that was on those things were cool. If you guys are using laser discs,
yeah.
Hey, you know,
and your biceps are fantastic too.
we are both certified hosts in the industry. Our libraries have been documented as completely
legitimate.
Legal, purchased music, verified purchased music. However, I don't want to use the word licensed because the word license, the karaoke manufacturers don't give us a license. They give us permission, and there's a difference. We are listed on their sites as certified host. There are some hosts out there saying we're licensed. Well, the only license you get in this market is you have to go get a business license. You have to get a county license or a city license or a state license or maybe all the above. Anyway, you want to get in our first subject? Or what do you
I've been doing it since 1990.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thanks for asking. Anyway,
we're hungover.
Between the two of us, we have a little over 50 years experience. So we're not trying to come off as the know-it-alls. He's a little older, but we have a great idea of what's going on in this industry. So, what subject are we going to cover today?
What's the biggest problem we have in the industry? What do you think? Is it rotation right now? Or should we move forward to acquiring the music? Or,
I'm going to say income.
Income.
I'm going to say income.
Income. That's a good one. I do well.
I do well.
we won't say specifically what we're paid, but I think we're both paid higher than the average KJ in the markets. And it's not just we walk in and go, we demand this kind of money. It comes more from experience. Mm-hmm. It comes more from giving our venues the best possible return on their dollars. What do you think? Taking
pride in working in that venue. I mean, you see a fight start, scuffle. You get a hold of the bouncer. You go, hey, you see a spilled drink on the floor. You get it cleaned up so nobody falls. It becomes part of your business, and you always, always, always tip your bartenders because they will make or break you. If you don't tip your bartenders, they will go right to the owner. Like, I don't think she was all that good.
You take ownership.
You do.
That's what you do. You take ownership. Yeah. You build a relationship with your venues that you become a valuable asset. You do not want to be a liability to the venue. Now, granted, some nights the business may be slower. Some nights the business may be busier. But in the long run, you want that venue owner to go, hey, they're part of the solution, not the problem. Mm-hmm. You start your shows on time. That's the biggest thing I hear in the industry. My competitors, most of the guys that I know or the gals that I know in the industry, I tell them, get there early, get set up early. One of my venues requires me to be there an hour before the show starts, set up, ready to go. I've been doing that one venue for almost 6 years. And I'm there. It starts at 9 o'clock. I'm there at 8 o'clock, ready to go. Now, I may get there at 8:15 if my equipment's already set up. But I get there and I'm ready to go. I'm not at 9 o'clock. I make sure my computer's ready. I make sure that my sound is ready. I make sure that I'm ready. That's the biggest thing. And that's kind of like goes with the equipment. You got to have good equipment. And I'm not going to tell you that QSC is better than EV, that's better than Yamaha, that's better than PV, that's better than whatever the brand is out there. You know what? If you're a decent engineer, and that's part of the thing is you got to be a decent engineer. If you're a decent engineer,
you can make anything sound good.
You can make anything sound good.
Right.
And you gotta, it's a fun business. I walked away from corporate America 5 years ago, doing this and doing corporate. You've been doing this full time, all your life. I think
pretty much.
You're on a tricycle.
Half of my life I've been.
She's on a tricycle riding around with a microphone in her hand, going, hey,
Yeah.
But no, that's the biggest thing is you've got to take ownership with the business and make sure that because you're a brand, you have branded yourself and the word of mouth gets out there, and you can only be in so many places, but you create a value. And it's not, there's a discussion in the industry about talent. There's discussions in the industry about your tools, which are your sound equipment and your computers and all that kind of stuff. But it's a common blend that you have to do.
It's your personality too. I mean, you're selling yourself. You're selling your brand, your name, your company. I can't tell you, and I'm sure you agree with me. You've been out of town at some point and hit up a karaoke, and you have Mom and Pa sitting behind a 8-foot table going, Bob.
Yeah.
You're not going to get any money if that's you.
Yeah.
You might want to pick a different career, like calling bingo or something.
Yeah, those guys sit there and they wonder why they're working and I don't want to call I don't want to call a certain hotel brand or anything like that, but they're in the back bar in some rundown hotel, and they can't understand why their business is not growing. But you got to be a little bit flamboyant. You can't be afraid to get out in front of people. Hey, here's a good idea. An improv class. If you're a host or you want to get better as a host, go take an improv class or go do stand-up. Because we do stand-up every night. And it's, we're not stand-up comedians. Well, sometimes maybe we are. But if you're out there trying to get your show off the ground, don't be afraid to get in front of people. If you're afraid to get in front of people, you've got to overcome that. That's I can talk to the wall. My wife says I can talk to just anybody that stands still long enough. You're the same way. Joanie and I have been around each other for quite a while now, and we're kind of brother sister from another mother kind of deal. We're kindred spirits in this industry. We meet no strangers, and if you're afraid to get up in front of people, you got to work on that. And it will come. It will come over a period of time.
Yeah. And if it doesn't, get out of the business.
Yeah. And like she said, I've gone to shows when I travel, and I've walked in going, oh my God, they're just boring. Mm-hmm. Don't be boring. Now, that kind of goes to singer management, where you want to get these guys up and down.
What gets people coming back to your show? Make everybody happy.
Yeah. If it's working for you, great. But take a look at your show and be open for criticism. I mean, Joanie's come to my shows, and we're going to talk later about my shows, and if she's got some criticism for me, constructive, that will help me. I've been doing it a long time. She's been doing it a long time. But you know what? I don't care how long you've been doing it. There's always room for improvement.
The best way is to go hit up 1 or 2 a month. Go to somebody else's show. Go to a different town where nobody knows you. And what pisses you off about that DJ, make sure you're not doing that. It's classic. Rotation, huge. I went with 3 people to a friend's karaoke. She wasn't working that night. There was another guy that was working. He was horrible. He did everything wrong. Everything wrong. My girlfriend Karen sang first. Her husband Dave sang after her. Then I sang third. When it came back time for the next rotation, I sang, bass, Mama sang, and they didn't. And they're like, excuse me, she was before her, and we've been waiting for how long? And you've put this person up 4 times. You have to have some kind of order, whether it's on paper, whether it's your software that keeps track of it for you, and we'll get onto that with the CompuHost, which is amazing. Yeah. But I used to carry a grid. I don't have it with me because I came ill prepared with my hangover. However, I used to have
Karaoke Summit 2015. You got to check that out on YouTube.
Now, we weren't drinking during it. No, it was afterwards. No. Celebration. Anyway, I used to have a grid, and it was based on a 4-hour show. I don't know how, you have 3-hour shows. You have some like Hat. He has got 8-hour shows.
8-hour show. I can't do an 8-hour show.
I would be in Betty Ford Clinic.
Mine was a 5-hour show.
Yeah. So well, that's why I was so hungover this morning. Yeah. Anyway, so I had a grid, and to give you the best, 3 categories made on an Excel spreadsheet. The first one, 16 singers. That's your first hour, and then you get through your first 16, and as people come in, you put them to the right, which is to the left. Anyway, so you go through one person that sang, and then you add 1 or 2 new singers, depending on how busy the room is getting and how busy it's going to get. And that way, the people that are sitting there for 4 hours don't feel like they're slighted. If you just keep putting everybody at the bottom, somebody could be there for literally 4 hours. I've been here for 4 hours. I sang once. Like, really? I've been buying drinks. I'm supporting you, but I feel like I'm going to go somewhere else because I haven't sung. So, but again, everyone does it differently. I have a KJ friend who used to work for me who does it that way. And if I show up and I miss the end of that rotation, I'm waiting 40 singers to sing. That's how he does it. And all his people are, that's the way it goes. You don't put new people in between. So, but you got to make everybody happy.
The rotation is the holy grail of karaoke.
Yeah.
I run a rotation where I start the first hour and everybody's in the first hour. And if I end up at the beginning of the night, and I can put 15 people through in an hour. And if you're not putting 15 people through in an hour and you're putting 10 people through,
people aren't coming back to your show.
Way too much time between your singers.
Or you're searching for your songs on YouTube.
Yes. Don't be doing that. If you're using a streaming service, a Karaoke Cloud, by the way, you know. But if you're using a streaming service, get a reliable streaming service. Maybe take a look at the cloud and change up to the media drive or something like that, or whatever service you're using. Make sure that it is a reliable service, and again, kind of legal service. And we won't get into that this week. We'll talk about that later on in one of our other episodes. But you got to move a fast rotation. I will, in a 4-hour show, I will pump through about 56 singers, and that's jamming. That is pretty much jamming. I don't take a break. I don't smoke, so I don't take a smoke break.
I don't take a break either.
Between my singers, if I've got to run to the guys' room, man, I take off. I've got 3 minutes. I look at the clock and I run and come back and do my thing. Because it's not about me, it's all about them. We've got a guy in town that he probably puts in a 4-hour show, he may put 30 singers through in a 4-hour show because he takes smoke breaks. And he takes hey, I'm going to go out and hang out for 15 minutes. And then he plays a bunch of dance music.
That's a good way to get people not to come back.
Right, exactly.
Especially if they want to sing. If they want to dance, it's different.
Right. And karaoke night is karaoke night. If you want dance music, the dance club. Now I'll play the wobble.
Yeah.
The cha-cha slide.
I only do it if they request it. And I only have really... Well, no, I would say maybe twice a month that gets requested. But I have so many singers that nobody's even thinking about dancing.
Right. If somebody asked me about it and they said, will you play the wobble? I said, I've got too many singers. Especially if
I'll tell them, I'm done at 1 o'clock. I'll play it at 1. If you stick around, you'll get to hear it.
Especially if I've got singers that are haven't sung yet. And that may happen at 11 or 12 o'clock because I get service industry guys that come in and gals that come in. But you've got to take care of your singers. You've got to take care of your rotation. And everybody's rotation is different. I'm not going to tell you that mine is perfect. She's not going to tell you that hers is perfect, but it works for me. It works for my singers. I bring the first, I will fill the first hour. And if it's 15 singers in the first hour, and I say I start my show at 9 o'clock, and I run my last singer in the brand new singers all the way up to 10 o'clock, then I put my first singer back up at 10:03 or whatever time it is that was beginning the show. Then I add the next new singer, and then I put an old singer, and then a new singer, and then an old singer. It's
kind of the same way that I did on paper.
And I spread that out, and that way everybody gets a chance. Now the rotation gets longer during the night, but everybody doesn't have to wait till the very end of 40 people singing because they won't hang around long.
No. And then you'll be calling miscellaneous people. Bueller? Are you there?
They won't be there.
They're not there.
The bartenders aren't making any money because the people left. The bar's not making any money. They'll complain, and trust me, if you're doing this, your singers will complain about you and go to the other guy's show. And then the rumors and the rumors start and everything goes on. And I try to run a good show. What is people talking about you?
No, I just thought of somebody. This is horrible. And she's just, I can't even say the name.
Don't call names.
I can't say the name, but she is or was, I don't know if she's still doing it.
We're not being condescending.
No.
It's observation.
But her nickname was Crackhead, not because she did crack, but because she would carry around the stack of requests that people gave them, and she would go, who's next?
Random?
Sam!
Random? Wow.
So you never knew when you were going to be up. That's when I started laughing because we called her Crackhead.
It's like fan out the cards.
Like, when are you up? I don't know. I might never get up. Yeah, pick one. Pick a card. But with the CompuHost, and Hal turned me onto this software, I was using Roxbox, which I like Roxbox too, don't get me wrong. But with the CompuHost, the best thing that I found, two really good things with the rotation. One is when somebody gives you the request, whether it's through KaraokeQ, whether it's through a handwritten paper, whether it's, I want to sing this song, just type their name in. And if you have the song at the time, great, but it gives you the time that person put their request in.
Excuse me, what time am I going to be up?
Yeah.
What time am I going to be up?
Not only does it give you the time they put their request in, it tells you what time they're going to sing, because it goes based on like a 4-minute song. And it also tells you the last time that they sung. And it also tells you if they haven't sung yet. So you're in red if you haven't sung yet. And if you have sung, you're in black. And so you can somebody comes up and like, man, I put my request in 2 hours ago. No, you put it in at 10:45. It's right here.
Are we running out of time? And that rotation, it's important that you keep your rotation, the integrity of the rotation.
Yes.
You were talking about CompuHost, where it manages your rotation. Now, I'll endorse CompuHost because I love the program. But if you're using PC DJ, or if you're using Virtual DJ, or if you're using Roxbox, or whatever software you're using, awesome. That's cool. Just manage your software, manage your rotation to where you're going to make sure your singers get up in a timely fashion. You know, we beat this this dead horse about spending 2 minutes getting a singer up versus spending 30 seconds to get the singer up. As soon as my singer's done, we recognize the singer, and then I'm calling the next person up. And hopefully I can get them up in about 30 seconds. And
if you, different softwares, you can actually put your cue on the screen either in between songs or the scrolling one on CompuHost and stuff like that. And I cannot tell you how wonderful it is to not hear, when am I up, 700 times a night anymore. It's fantastic. That I just go, your name will be on the scroll. Oh, okay, cool. Sometimes they show up before I even call them because they're watching it and they know when they're up. And it's, I mean, that's when am I up? How many times have you heard that?
I still hear it though. And your singers are going to run your show for you a little bit because they're going to come up to you and they're going to resist change. Some of my singers are older and they're still used to the guys that are throwing out the CDGs. And if you're still using CDGs, great. Be prepared. You got to do your homework. Get your third or fourth or fifth singer out there and have that disc ready to load in. But I will tell you this: if you're still using CDGs and a platter or a changer or whatever media you're performing that in, think about going to a computer, and it'll make your rotation. And we're really talking about rotation. It'll really make your rotation life so much better.
Well, not even so much rotation life. I mean, I used to have them out. You know, I'd have a dual deck and the CDs ready to go. So I still got through the singers as much, but it's going to make your work easier.
It's going to lighten your workload.
Yeah, your workload is going to. You're not flipping through, binders and finding your disc. I mean, even though they're alphabetized or categorized, whatever, it still takes time. Right. You know it does.
But spend time with your rotation. Spend time with your singers. And I will get my singers. I'll say, hey, sometimes they'll give me 2 songs, and your rules are your rules. Your rules are your rules. And I don't let them put in but more than 2 songs at a time. And I have a rule that song gets sung once during the night.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. I don't repeat songs. And if you give me $100, you can repeat any song you want.
I won't even do that.
I will do that.
Yeah,
I had a guy pay me $100 to sing the same song that he sang earlier in the night, and I never do that. And he wanted to be next, but he was next. I was like, okay, thank you.
That's the one thing I wanted to get to real quick was
like, yes, for $100, I'll let you sing your same song again. And I'll bump you up, but he was next anyway. He didn't know. He was drunk.
That rarely happens. I'll get a guy that wants to sing the same song twice, and that's fine because he sang it the first time. It doesn't happen maybe once every month or something like that. But you're talking about the rotation bump. I have a rule that it is called the C-note rule.
Yep.
And you can get moved up in the rotation
$100
for $100.
I have it in my book. I had it. I have the $100 guarantee.
Yeah.
If you give me $100, I guarantee you're going to be next.
And that way, it's fair for everybody. Nobody in the house goes, "Oh man, you bumped him up. Hey, he paid me $100."
And they understand that. They go, "Well, yeah, girl's gonna make a living."
They truly get that.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, get people walk up and hand me $1. Hey man, can I sing next? You know what? If you've got to go home, go home. I had a girl one night said, I've got to go home and take my cancer medicine, and I've got this and I've got that. And I said, baby, you need to go home and take your cancer medicine. She wanted to sing next, and then she wanted to pick up her phone and call the owner of the bar. And I said, baby, sweetheart, honey, I've got his number on my phone. You want to use my phone or your phone? And she backed out real quick. But
we've heard every excuse that there ever was for why I have to go next. My buddy's leaving for Afghanistan tomorrow. My girlfriend's cat just died today. Her grandmother's in the hospital. I have to sing this song. I've heard every. My cat
is here.
Yeah, my cat. And you know what? They don't leave. They stay.
Yeah.
So if you haven't figured that one out yet, just a little insight.
So it's but in kind of and we'll get close to wrapping this episode up. But I wanted to go back for just a moment, and I want to talk about the next couple of shows that we're going to be doing. YouTube channel is KaraokeQ, the letter N in my southern accent.
You're doing that better now.
I'm doing better, yeah. KNA, and the email address is KaraokeQnA @gmail.com. You know, and the big thing is watch for some of the upcoming episodes. I know we've kind of rambled today, but we're still in that Karaoke Summit 2015, which, you know, the products that they talked about, it's great products. It may not be for you, but it's great products. Try it out, see what you think. The Karaoke Cloud is a great product. I know that
basically watch the summit when you have some time.
Completely.
It'll cover everything that you knew, that you had questions about, that you don't know. I mean, I've been doing this for 25 years, and I learned stuff yesterday. Right. So
there's product. They've talked about new product that's coming on the market. And again, this is we're not going to endorse or not endorse, but there's some great new products coming out there.
And we'll tell you if we've used it and if we like it or if we don't like it and why. I mean, like we were talking about that KaraokeQ. Hal said for his shows, and I can understand it's an older crowd. They don't have smartphones and stuff like that, and they may not understand or appreciate that. However, I do a lot of college bars, and they will love that.
They'll eat it up.
They will love it.
The features on it are just
and I'll make money. So
you know, songbooks. We're going to talk about songbooks and the presentation of songbooks. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. So you know, tune in to us.
We have a special guest on our second and maybe third if we can get that through.
We have some great people coming up. You know, we're going to get guests in every now and then. We're going to review products as it comes along, and the guys that know that we're going to review those products know we're going to review them with an open mind and go, hey, maybe this isn't what works for somebody. Mm-hmm. But we don't want all to be cookie cutter. You know, there's so much you can do out there. I hope we haven't bored you guys. You know, we certainly have a good day. You can tell.
They're watching going, get that girl a drink. She's obviously hungover.
It's still in the daytime somewhere. You know,
it's 5 o'clock somewhere, Hal.
It is. It's always 5 o'clock somewhere.
It is.
And that song never gets sung.
I know.
I bought that song, and it never gets sung.
Neither does Red Solo Cup.
Hey, let's go sing Picture.
Oh, no.
You want to go sing Picture?
No. Yeah, we'll talk about our least favorite songs ever.
No kidding.
We have so much to talk about. Anyway, we're going to wrap up this segment for our first episode ever.
Absolutely.
And then we're going to do a couple more. And
how can we help you guys?
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah.
Email us. Let us know what you want to talk about. Let us know what you...
KaraokeQnA @gmail.com.
We'll get you in the sign. What? Q...
We need a sign. We'll hold up a board. Yeah. Here's a sign. Yeah.
Maybe they'll put it on it for us. That you can just click.
Either look at the bottom. Maybe it's at the bottom, or it'll be over here, or somewhere behind us, or something like that. But anyway, guys, have a great day.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see ya.
Bye.